If your bell peppers keep coming out the size of golf balls, thin-walled, pale, and barely worth slicing, I need you to stop what you're doing and watch this. Because I spent 3 summers getting it completely wrong, and once I figured out what I was missing, my plants went from producing sad little peppers to fruits so thick and heavy they were actually bending the branches. And before we're done today, I'm going to share one trick I stumbled onto almost by accident that changed everything for me. It sounds almost too simple, but stay with me until the end, because that one thing might be exactly what's been holding your peppers back. I know how frustrating it is. You follow the instructions on the seed packet, you water regularly, you put them in a sunny spot, and still, small peppers. Maybe not even many of them. You look at your neighbor's garden or a photo online and wonder what on earth they're doing differently. Here's what I want you to understand right now. Growing giant bell peppers is not about luck, and it's not about having special soil or expensive equipment. It comes down to a handful of specific things done in the right order at the right time. That's it, and every single one of them is something you can do yourself, starting this week. If you want practical growing tips like this every week, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. It costs you nothing, and you'll never wonder why your plants are struggling again. All right, let's get into it. The first thing most people get wrong happens before the seed even goes in the ground, and that's the soil. Most gardeners just till in whatever they have, maybe throw in some general garden fertilizer and call it a day. But bell peppers are greedy feeders. They want rich, deeply amended soil, and here's the most important part. It needs to drain well while still holding moisture. Think of it like a good sponge cake. You want it to hold its structure and some moisture, but water shouldn't pool in it. What I do now is mix in a generous amount of compost. I'm talking a full inch or 2 worked deep into the bed, along with a handful of worm castings and some perlite to keep things loose. I do this at least 2 weeks before planting, so everything has time to settle and integrate. The 1 year I skipped this step and just planted directly into my regular bed, my peppers sulked all season. The roots couldn't expand properly, and the plants never really took off. The second tip, and this one surprised me the first time I heard it, is about burying your transplants deeper than they came in the pot. Not as deep as tomatoes, but enough to cover the first inch or so of the stem. I know this sounds counterintuitive. You'd think burying the stem would stress the plant, but bell peppers, like their tomato cousins, can develop roots along the buried stem, which means a bigger, more robust root system from day one. More roots equal more water and nutrient uptake, which equals bigger fruit. I started doing this 2 seasons ago, and the difference in how quickly my plants established themselves was noticeable within 2 weeks. Third, and I see this mistake constantly, people water their bell peppers too shallowly and too often. A little splash every day might feel like good care, but what you're actually doing is training the roots to stay near the surface. Think of it like this. If someone kept leaving snacks by your front door, you'd never bother walking to the store. Your pepper roots are the same way. What you want is deep, infrequent watering, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, enough water to reach down 8 to 10 inches into the soil. I use a slow drip at the base of the plant, and I let the top inch of soil dry out between waterings. This trains the roots to push downward searching for moisture, and deep-rooted plants are more resilient and more productive, period. Number 4 is about calcium, and this one has a direct, visible effect on your fruit size. A lot of gardeners know about blossom hand rot, that dark sunken patch on the bottom of the pepper, but fewer realize that that same calcium deficiency that causes rot also stunts fruit development and thins out those walls. Calcium isn't just a nutrient, it's the building material for the cell walls inside the fruit itself. No calcium, no thick walls. I add crushed eggshells to the planting hole, I save them all winter, and I also water once every 2 weeks with a diluted calcium solution. You can buy liquid calcium at any garden center or a product called CalMag that combines calcium and magnesium. Since I started doing this consistently, the walls on my papers have gotten noticeably thicker and the fruits are heavier. You can feel the difference when you pick them up.
Fifth, and this one genuinely changed my season, is a technique called flower pinching. When your young pepper plant puts out its very first flower, pinch it off. I know, it feels wrong, it feels almost heartbreaking after you've worked so hard to get the plant going. But here's the thing. That first flower appears before the plant has built a strong enough root structure and canopy to support the fruit. If you let it set fruit early, the plant pours all its energy into that one pepper and slows down its overall development. It's like a runner sprinting out of the gate in a marathon. They'll pay for it later. When I started pinching that first flower and letting the plant grow bigger before fruiting, the number of peppers and their size both increased dramatically. Give the plant 4 to 6 weeks before letting fruit set, and it will reward you generously. Sixth, feed them right, but not with the wrong thing. Most people reach for a high nitrogen fertilizer because it promotes lush green growth. But nitrogen, past a certain point, tells the plant to keep building leaves instead of making fruit. What you want is a fertilizer with moderate nitrogen and higher phosphorus and potassium. Look for something where the second and third numbers on the bag are higher than the first. Phosphorus supports root development and flower production. Potassium builds strong fruit walls. I switch from a balanced fertilizer to a bloom booster formula once I see the first flowers forming, and it makes a real difference in fruit development. Seventh, and this is something almost nobody talks about, is spacing. Eighth, and I want you to write this one down, is mulching and doing it correctly. A lot of gardeners skip mulch entirely, or they pile it right up against the stem of the plant, which actually traps moisture against the base and invites rot and disease. What you want is a 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch. Now here's the one I promised you at the beginning, the secret tip. And I want you to know, I started spraying my pepper plants once a week with a diluted solution of Epsom salt. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and magnesium is the central atom in chlorophyll, the molecule that drives photosynthesis. When your plants can photosynthesize more efficiently, they produce more energy, which goes directly into fruit development. My peppers that season were the biggest I'd ever grown, and it costs almost nothing. A bag of Epsom salt from the pharmacy lasts an entire season. Try it. Just once a week, spray the leaves in the morning. So let's bring it all together. Start with deeply amended, well-draining soil loaded with compost and worm castings. Plant your transplants a little deeper than they came in the pot to encourage stronger root development. Water deeply and infrequently to drive roots downward. Add calcium to your soil and water to build those thick, satisfying walls. Pinch that first flower, even though it hurts, and let the plant grow strong before setting fruit. Switch to a high phosphorus, high potassium fertilizer once blooms appear, and spray with diluted Epsom salt weekly to supercharge your plant's energy production. That's it. That's the whole system. Nothing expensive, nothing complicated, just doing the right things in the right order. Now I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest frustration with bell peppers? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you've had success with a tip I didn't mention, share it. This community grows when we grow together. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. New practical growing content every single week. I'll see you in the next one.